In the small town of Oakwood, there lived a boy named Jake. Jake was known throughout the school as a bully. He was tall and strong, with a scowl that made the younger kids tremble. Every day, he would pick on someone weaker, using his size and strength to intimidate. One of Jake's regular targets was a boy named Ethan. Ethan was smaller, quieter, and preferred books to sports. He wore glasses that often became the object of Jake's torment. Despite the bullying, Ethan never retaliated. He simply endured, his gentle nature refusing to let anger take over. One crisp autumn day, as the school bell rang to signal the end of the day, Jake found himself in an unexpected situation. He was walking home through the park when a group of older boys, known for their rough behavior, surrounded him. These boys were much bigger and meaner than Jake, and they had decided that it was his turn to be on the receiving end of the bullying. "Hey, tough guy, think you're so strong?" One of them sneered, shoving Jake to the ground. Jake tried to stand his ground, but the numbers and strength of the older boys were overwhelming. Fear gripped him, and for the first time, he understood what it felt like to be powerless. Just as things were about to take a turn for the worse, Ethan appeared. He had been walking home the same way, nose deep in a new book, when he saw what was happening. Without a second thought, Ethan ran towards the group. "Hey, leave him alone!" Ethan shouted, his voice trembling but determined. The older boys turned to face this new challenger, laughing at the sight of the small, bespectacled boy standing defiantly before them. "And what are you going to do about it, nerd?" one of them taunted. Ethan took a deep breath, standing as tall as he could. "It's not right to pick on someone just because you can. Let him go." The older boys were taken aback by Ethan's courage. They weren't used to being confronted, especially by someone like Ethan. After a tense moment, they decided it wasn't worth the effort and left, muttering insults under their breath. Jake, bruised and shaken, looked up at Ethan in astonishment. "Why did you do that?" he asked, genuinely puzzled. Ethan offered his hand to help Jake up. "Because it was the right thing to do," he replied simply. From that day on, Jake's attitude began to change. He started to see the world from a different perspective. He realized how much pain he had caused others, and he felt a deep sense of regret. Jake began to stand up for those who were bullied, using his strength to protect rather than intimidate. Ethan and Jake slowly became friends. They bonded over shared experiences and mutual respect. Jake admired Ethan's bravery and kindness, while Ethan saw the potential for good in Jake. Together, they worked to make their school a better place where everyone felt safe and valued. Years later, when they graduated, Ethan and Jake stood side by side, proud of how far they had come. Their friendship had not only changed their lives, but had also inspired others to stand up against bullying. The small town of Oakwood remembered them as the duo who proved that even the hardest hearts could change, and that true strength lay in kindness and understanding.